2024 Ford Maverick build-in price. This is a vehicle you can actually get. You can still order it, and you know what? You have to order it. Don't be stubborn on this one. This is an inflation fighter. This is the best vehicle you're going to get for the buck. Extremely fuel efficient. Even if you get the EcoBoost, very fuel efficient. It's a truck, so it can make you money. It can save you money because you can transport things for people and get paid, or you can transport your own stuff. You can do home rentals with this. Heck, with the back tailgate opened at 45 degrees, you can put 4x8 wood, plywood sheets, or drywall up to 350 pounds. So you can save a lot of money. You can work this truck properly. Now there's a bit of trouble underneath the table because the dogs, they'd love to have
wrestling.
Poodle wrestling. They're fighting for who gets a Maverick, and you need to fight to get a Maverick as well because you need to order this. Please don't wait for one of these to be available at a lot. A dealer will ask thousands of dollars more. Used Ford Mavericks are selling for 5, 6, 10. If it's a hybrid, 10,000 over original MSRP. If it's, let's say, a 23, it's about 7,000 over MSRP Canadian, so 5,000 US dollars if it's a 2022 with a whole bunch of mileage. So this is the vehicle to get, and I'll tell you why this is a vehicle to get. It's because it comes actually really well equipped. So I'm gonna open up here. I've got the major product features. I want to cover a bit of your order guide because the Ford Maverick comes standard with Copilot 360. So you've got blind spot detection on this vehicle. It's got great safety features, blind spot detection. You've got auto high beams. So that means your lights, night and day, aren't just automatic. On top of that, your night lights, so that's your, when you're driving at night, your high beams and your low beams go on and off automatically. That's standard. You've got standard on the XLT, a parameter alarm security system, but you also have an anti-theft even on the XL version. So I'm just gonna, if you wanna actually take us to that, we'll throw it on right here, then we'll actually start building what we think is the best version. So before you actually order up one of these, I think it's great if you can find an order guide, go through it, learn what comes standard so you don't overbuy. But if you only have access to the build and price, also show you some tricks so that you don't get fooled and buy way more vehicle and spend thousands of dollars more. Now the XL production, there's a lot of demand for the XL. Production's a little lower, so expect a longer wait. But let's go through what this vehicle now comes with. So it comes standard with a 2-liter EcoBoost engine that's connected to not a CVT, as is the standard across all the manufacturers. They all want to go to CVT, already have CVT transmissions because those are either a strap or a metallic belt, a chain. And these things with time will get strained and could very well snap. They're not the most reliable. And the EcoBoost is running off an 8-speed mechanical transmission. Now that thing is tough. And the motor's tough too. It's not on its first generation. A few little kinks got worked out. And the 2-liter turbo is a great, powerful engine. 250 horsepower, 280 pound-feet of torque. I've driven them often. Very beefy, a lot of fun to drive. This vehicle handles the corners fantastically. Great handling, very comfortable seat. We've got, Ridgeview, one of our channel's moderators. He has done some very long driving. He's driven from the northern states all the way down to Florida, and he's also driven from the East Coast, Northeast Coast, down to Kansas a couple times.
Yeah, so we tested more than once.
He tested it more than once. He's tested that thing like we've tested the Ford Bronco. And he says it is very comfortable for those long journeys. Now, the 2.5 liter is now optional. That means optional means you're going to pay for it. Standard means you're not paying for it. So optional means you're going to pay. We'll talk about the additional costs in just a moment. But don't get fooled. It says right here, automatic continuously variable transmission. It's not a CVT, it's an eCVT, very much like what Toyota's using in the Prius. That means that it's a planetary gear set. One big gear, mechanical, metallic, with, teeth. You've got other little gears helping it do its magic. And it is magic because you're getting the fuel efficiency of a CVT without the very poor reliability of a CVT. It's not the cheapest option. Toyota and Ford spend money giving us a high quality transmission, but CVTs are manufacturers' ways of, when they're belt driven, whether it's a rubber belt or a metallic chain, pure CVT, not an ECVT, but a CVT, is how manufacturers are ripping us off. They're giving us a subpar transmission, hoping it only breaks after the warranty is over. But sometimes they don't even make it that long. These things are horrible for towing. Not the case for the Ford Maverick, whether you go with the 2-liter or the hybrid engine. Now, it's important to go through what your standard equipment is. So you go to, you skip over major product changes. Page 1, that's for people that have memorized everything from the 2023. If you go off to page 2, you've got the XL series standard equipment, and you're gonna want to go through this because that's what's going to let you know what the vehicle comes standard with. So maybe you don't need to spend any extra money and you can save thousands because you actually like what's in the vehicle. Now, someone wrote about the Rogue CVT. Yuck. Yes, that is the worst. The Rogue has the worst CVT.
Yeah, the Nissan one.
But Nissan, you save money up front, but you spend money later on if you keep the vehicle too long. But you'll lose it. In most cases, most of their vehicles have poor resale. Winston, it would be great if you could join the show
They
instead
have
of
a lot of
causing
energy
trouble.
tonight, the poodles.
Yeah, and you're rubbing your belly, so I think the baby has some energy tonight too from this, from what it seems like.
A little bit of kicking.
So all Mavericks come with an electric parking brake. The hybrid comes with an electric brake booster. And that reminds me, turbos, traditionally, when you had your foot on the gas, it would, use vacuum, and then if you immediately stomped on the brakes, you had very poor brakes. I have that with the problem with the Toyota MR2. That's not the problem with the Ford Maverick. I tested it, so you aren't going to lose, half or more of your braking capability because you're just on the gas, and then you need to hit the brake pedal. There's post-impact braking. If you have an accident with any of the Ford Mavericks, as soon as there's a collision, a contact, the vehicle's going to apply the brakes. So you won't hit something and then just keep barreling down the road and off a cliff. You've got electronic power assist steering on both vehicles. That means the ratio between the wheels in the front and the steering wheel adapt to your speed, and it also means that there's no solid column from the steering wheel going all the way to the wheels. So that's one less part that can break. It helps save weight, and it also helps with fuel economy. So this vehicle's price is inexpensive, but it's not cheaply made. They didn't go with a cheap CVT. They didn't go with, a cheap old school drive shaft, kind of like a driving shaft. It's not the correct term, but a driving shaft between the steering wheel and the wheels themselves. This is originally filmed live, so when I don't have the right word for it, I can't just easily edit it out. So yeah, you've got that variable assist power steering. All models get an 8-inch touchscreen, and let's check this out in photos. If you want to go check out our photos list and get a picture of the 8-inch touchscreen as well as the interiors, because if you go with XL, you're going to get a black standard XL Maverick. You get a black interior, and XLT, and that's someone's. That's an important interior to show. So they all have this touchscreen. It's an 8-inch. It doesn't have wireless Android Auto or wireless Apple CarPlay, even for 2024, but it is touchscreen. If you plug it in, your GPS from your phone will transfer over, as well as some of your apps. And if you go with a Lariat black appearance package, you get black leather. But if you just want a black interior and save thousands of dollars, you can just go with an XL. Cloth, black, that's what you're going to get. Standard XLT, you're going to get a blue and gray interior. So if you want to pull that photo up and get us the XLT interior, the nice interior like you had, we really liked that cloth. We found it, for the time we had it, it was durable. So we'll just slide down right here and try to get those photos. So Marie's new to controlling the laptop. So
was not in the same the good order.
So the XLT, some people love it, some people hate it. A lot of people have complained about these orange accents, but once we owned it, we actually liked the orange accents.
Yeah, that's not what's
looks better in
bothering
person.
me. It's more like the plastic in the door here. That looks like a bottle of water.
Yeah, you've said before that it reminds you of like a 1980s cooler.
It's not the orange that bothers me.
But the seats are fantastic. The seats are really comfortable. The material is
that's beautiful.
fantastic. Now, if you want to just get back to the order guide, I'm going to cover a few things before we just start building what would be our 2024 Ford Maverick ideal build and why. So we really love the fact that every Maverick has that blind spot detection and the auto high beams. And sometimes when you're going through the order guide, it can be tough. It says Copilot 360 and you say, what is Copilot 360? Well, you can actually continue to read. You'll end up getting the answer. For now, I just want to say that you've got 2 USB ports on every single Maverick, and that's Type A and Type C.
That's practical.
They all have electronic stability control. They're all going to drive well in the snow. Ford has, if it's a hybrid, it's intelligent front wheel drive up to 16 times per second. The vehicle can decide to send a different amount of power to each wheel. It's actually a very effective system at keeping the vehicle in a straight line. If it's the all-wheel drive, well, it does that, but for all 4 wheels. And this system, originally Ford had a very archaic 4x4 system, and this system was actually developed by, borrowing upon Volvo technology as well as Land Rover technology, because Ford used to own those companies and they really upgraded their 4x4 systems because of these companies. Now, all Mavericks will have behind the steering wheel a 4.2-inch information screen. If you go with an XLT FX4 package, you get the 6.5-inch screen behind the steering wheel like on the Lariat. So that can be a good little money-saving tip. They'll all come with rear view camera. They're all going to come with dynamic brake support. And what does that mean? It means the vehicle can prep the brakes for you and even brake for you at the last minute. It might not save you from an accident, but you'll certainly hit, things or people at a slower speed because it does have pedestrian detection and forward collision warning. And of course, automated emergency braking. So those are all fantastic security features, making the XL a steal of a deal, because if we go back 15 years into the past, you're buying what would now be, a $200,000 Mercedes-Benz to have that kind of technology. If we go back, and I say 15 years, but I'm not coming along with the times fast enough. I'd say probably more around 20 years ago, a top-of-the-line Mercedes or Porsche, the very highest level ones, would have that kind of, and I shouldn't say Porsche because 911s, stayed away from touch screens. Mercedes and BMW jumped on them first with their luxury vehicles. Now, of course, they all have fantastic. These vehicles are very safe in the case of an accident. You've got your front and rear bumpers being made of steel. You're not going to actually see that because there's plastic covering over them, but beneath there's steel. They're going to help you in the case of an accident. Now remember, these are unibody vehicles, so it's not a fully boxed in frame system like the Ford Ranger. So excuse me. So it means that if someone does hit you very hard on the side of the vehicle, if the whole vehicle twists, well, your flooring is your framing, so they can get scrapped. But these vehicles are safe if you do get into an accident. Now, why would we want to go and get an XLT? So we got an XLT. Now, that's a big list. I'm not going to read everything out because we could talk about this for an hour.
It's the XL.
But we're still in the XL. Now, and this is where you slide down on the order guide. You can go down and look. Ford Copilot 360. and they're going to tell you everything that the Ford Copilot 360 offers. I do want to add that not only is there blind spot detection, meaning a little light goes on in the side view mirrors, it's not annoying. We test drove the Santa Cruz, and it was noisy when someone was in our blind spot. It cut down, if I recall correctly, cut down the radio volume a little bit, and it actually made a noise. Ford's just going to light up the light. It's not an annoying nuisance. And it's got cross traffic alert, meaning if you're backing up and you don't see what's coming and someone's going to hit you, it will save you. And I hate to tell you this, but either our Lightning, I can't remember if I was backing up the Lightning. No, I was backing up the Bronco, so that would have hurt our feelings a lot more. I almost got driven into with the Bronco, but thankfully the vehicle warned me. And I'm not proud, but while backing up the Lightning, going in my lunch break to work out at the gym, I was backing up, and I would have backed into the fence. But that cross traffic alert on the Lightning, it also brakes for you. It braked before I hit the fence, so the vehicle braked for me.
So you're lucky, because we would have cars to repair.
We could have two vehicles that are damaged. One would have been totaled. So we've got lane keeping system, also not annoying at Ford. You start to go out of your lane, the steering wheel shakes a little and helps bring you back. So you got that lane keeping alert and driver alert system. So it might tell you to pull over and grab a coffee.
Yeah, and it says that to you.
Yeah.
You remember once
Yeah,
the Bronco said to you, take a coffee break or something like that?
And what did I tell it? Told it to mind its own business.
Yeah, we just start to be on the road for like 10 minutes, and it says that to you.
Yeah, I told the Bronco, I said, mind your own business. You won't tell me what to do. I'm talking to my wife, and that's why my eyes aren't as much on the road as you'd like. But I was upset.
Because my wife peed on her that I drive so badly.
No, Lily peed on me this night when I got home. She was really excited and wanted to be picked up, and then she returned the favor by peeing on me. So, build-in price, not talking, by the way, in case you're new to the show, this is Lily, and she is a very cute little affectionate bear. So for workout routine, the WB, you'll have to email me, and I'll try to cover it. I'd be glad to share. So, build-in price on the 2024 Ford Maverick. You get to the website, top right, you got the little build-in price button. Go to start your build. Do not put let us find it for you. Let us find it for you means a dealer is going to contact you, and very, very possibly the price they could give you is over MSRP. They'll just say, hey, you want this equipment? Great. It's going to cost, $700 per month. Maybe it's $650 per month, but they've got dealer fees. They've got adjusted market fees. So head over to the left side here, click on Start Your Build. Now, I think the XL is good, and let's zoom in on it. I think it's excellent for the price and for the amount of equipment it's offering you. It's incredible. And if you want to know how incredible it is, you just have to click View Details. Give you some nice, easy tricks here. And I've this
too much zoom. Maybe?
Too much zoom. So we got to zoom out. You got to go to View Details. And this is very misleading, folks. It'll give you a nice little paragraph saying, made to innovate. This model comes equipped with a standard 2-liter EcoBoost engine with 8-speed automatic transmission or available 2.5-liter hybrid powertrain. Remember, folks, available means you pay. It sounds like they're offering you, a free coffee or a glass of water, but you'll have to pay for this. It's not like that free coffee at the dealerships. You got an 8-inch LCD touchscreen center stack. You got Ford Pass, meaning you can start the vehicle. Don't be fooled. You don't need to add remote start to these vehicles. You'll have it across your phone. So just get Ford Pass. It's free. You got LED headlamps. But there's so much more on this vehicle. And it's not just what you read down here. If we zoom in here, we can see it's got manual seats, 17-inch sparkle silver steel wheels. They're just trying to make something that's pretty ordinary sound fancy. They're steelies. let's just call them Steelies here.
Silver steel wheels.
Now, the 2024 Ford Maverick has cruise control in the XL. Ford listened to us. Many of us buyers were chiming in, saying it needed that. It's got the 6 tie downs. That's in the bed, the box of the vehicle. So tie downs, that's what you're going to tie things to tie them down. And you've got Apple CarPlay and Android Auto capability, but wired. But the big one, here's the trick. Skip the fancy pictures, keep going, ignore the big blue button saying, hey, you should start your build now. That's all to get you to go spend more money. Go down to plus standard features. Plus standard features means you don't pay. And each one, you've got to click on each one. So power and handling, they're going to run you through the full list of what the vehicle comes with. And that's a lot. That's like 12 points that you won't see anywhere else, that you might end up thinking you have to buy more Maverick to get that. You click on interior features, pops up. What's that, like 15 points of added information that you probably didn't know is on the Ford Maverick unless you studied and memorized the order guide that most people can't find. But right there, you've got a whole list of what the vehicle's coming with. So, you've got power door locks and power windows. That's just one example. Maybe you thought you had to get XLT because traditionally Ford XL trucks do not come standard with power windows, power locks, or remote. You can't just remote unlock the doors from a distance, which of course you can do with your cell phone with Ford Pass. But you actually have a key fob that from a distance you lock and unlock the doors. You get that all by clicking on all these details, and in total you go through all the lists and all the equipment, and heck, you're going to go through and find over 60 points on the vehicle that you might have thought that you need to spend more money on in order to get. So let's now start the build. So I would actually I think the XL is great, but we're lovers of wheels, and
the look of the XLT.
We often lease because we like to switch often, and it's a little easier to switch in and out when you're on a lease because, well, when you're on a purchase, when you finance your vehicle, a lot of those first payments in the first year or two are mostly interest payments because the interest is front end loaded, meaning you pay a lot more interest at the beginning than you do at the end. So don't be fooled. Like a mortgage on a house, they'll get you that way. That's not just Ford. That's every manufacturer. That's just how auto loans work. But you're also paying the taxes. And when we lease, well, you pay the taxes monthly and you pay your interest. Your interest is, it's a lot easier usually to change. You go with a 4-year lease. You're often in a position at Ford to change after 2 years. If you finance this on 84 months, changing after 2 years could be a lot harder. And actually with the Maverick, because we're on a lease, we were able to switch that up pretty easy. So right now, I'd still, even though we're up here in the Great North, we get a lot of snow. Our Ford Maverick was incredible in the snow. Mm-hmm. We've towed a 4-wheeler and the trailer, obviously. We towed the trailer and the 4-wheeler in the snow, uphill, with half decent, not the best winter tires, but good winter tires.
And it was easy. So much easy. I was surprised for the size of the truck.
Tell it how it is, wife. I won't call you sister in this week's live. I'll say,
call me sister.
Tell it how it is, wife. Tell them how you went up. You and you were driving. Tell them about the conditions. How much snow? What kind of snow?
That was a lot of snow. That was a big storm, like we have maybe 3 times a winter. It's not that much, but it was big snowballs was falling down. I remember you did the thumbnail for that one with the picture of the Maverick, and we see the snowballs falling down. It was big. It was heavy snow, heavy wet snow. So
yeah, and wet. So it liked to jam up the creases in the tires and fill those tires with snow to then make the tire kind of full and more likely to spin. And we're just a front-wheel drive hybrid. And we went right up the hill.
And
We've
we're
got a
at the stop
good hill.
on the hill, and we were able to go up without having trouble. That was surprising.
Now, color is always subjective, but black, if you love to wash your car and you've got a lot of free time, take black. If you don't have a lot of free time, you're going to wash your car quickly one day. You're going to use a mitt that's got a few grains of sand in it or grime or whatever it may be, and you're going to put swirl marks all over your paint. Now, a ceramic detailer, I do them myself. I like ceramic detailers. Makes it so I don't have to put the mitt to the vehicle nearly as often. I did a video on that I never produced 2 months ago, so I got to get to the car care, not just Johnny's Auto News here, but it's Johnny's Car Care and Reviews. Please like and subscribe, because what does liking and subscribe do, honey?
Help to dress and feed those poodles.
Yes.
That are so energetic tonight.
And future baby. So, you know, cost of inflation, the Ford Maverick.
We'll need to buy a baby seat.
We'll need to buy a baby seat.
To do Bronco rides again.
Salaries have matched inflation since the 1960s, but the cost of living has not. So help us out with the cost of living. Throw on a nice little thumbs up on the web here on the page and share this with people, because this is good information here that we're sharing. White, if you plan on reselling it to a company, white is always beloved by companies. We loved the cactus gray to the point where we had a Ford Bronco that was cactus gray. The longer we had it, the more we liked it, because the more our eye got attuned to seeing a little bit of green that's in that gray. So it's cool. And on the Bronco, it made it look, the brother-in-law, as a police officer, said, "Oh, you must have gotten that because it's kind of like it looks a little army." And not like jungle green in any way whatsoever, but he kind of felt like it was the mixture between, you know, Desert Storm and paint scheme versus jungle. So nice color. We've got here for 2024 Ford Maverick carbonized gray metallic. That color is not going anywhere. It's offered pretty much on every Ford and Lincoln. It's low maintenance, doesn't show the swirl marks in your clear coat. Easy to maintain, easy to correct stone chips. Always looks mostly clean even when it's pretty darn dirty. We've got Terrain. Now that's a new color, and we haven't seen it yet, and there's nothing you can really see at Ford right now to get a preview of that color, but Ford has been nailing it these days with the colors. I regret not ordering Azure Gray for the Lightning because I only saw it on computer, and it looked like crap on the computer. And now in person, it's one of the nicest colors you can get from any manufacturer. I now trust Ford when it comes to colors. This decade can be known as Ford's awesome color decade, because whoever they've got working over there, I applaud you, my friend. Ford color choice, new color person, you deserve a raise.
But please bring back my cyber orange.
Azure Gray Metallic Tri-Coat is worth every single dollar. It's $800 on the Lightning, $495 here. And I would actually take Azure Gray. I do think it's nicer than your Area 51. They found a way. Area 51 was free. It's almost the same, but Area 51 was free. Now, the Azure Gray is a little nicer, but costs $500 more. But I'd take that or Hot Pepper Red Metallic Tinted Clear Coat. Guy at work has one of these. Mike, working down in the basement. And he washes this thing every single week, so it always looks better than showroom, because I think he puts a ceramic detailer on it. It must be once every 3 weeks, which is really excessive, but I've never seen a vehicle look better than this thing. This thing, if you keep this color clean, you're going to look like a winner every day. Azure Gray, you can get away with keeping it not quite as clean and still have it look good. We've got Lightnings that, you know, we've got some vehicles that have been sitting in the yard. They arrive from factory dirty and we haven't washed them yet, and they still look good. They've been on test drives. Azure Gray is a good color if you're not into cleaning the vehicle.
I never washed my Area 51 and it was perfect.
Swirl marks won't look so bad in Azure Gray either. So if you clean your car with a dirty mitt, the swirl marks that will be in your clear coat won't show too much. It'll show more in Pepper Red. Silver, lowest maintenance. Shows it, you know, You wash this thing with a dirty mitt, you ruin your clear coat, it's not going to show. You're not going to have to go pay someone $500 to do a proper compound and polish, compound, then polish, then wax. So said maybe $500 to $800 to correct your dirty mitt situation. You're good with silver if that is you. If I just described you, go with silver. Now, Atlas Blue Metallic. What do you think of Atlas Blue Metallic?
That's a classic. That's a color that we will always see. I guess they won't remove it.
Yeah, it's a play on, it's a darker velocity blue.
Yeah, people loved it. So yeah, it's a darker velocity blue. It's close. So I think we'll continue to see that color a lot.
Would you get the luxury package again?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I love the heated seat, heated steering wheels. It's a must here.
It's a must, and we would have never sold it the way we sold it. We sold it good.
Fully equipped. It was helping.
It was helping. People
with
were...
the hitch. The person really loved that I had a hitch on it. So yeah, that's a perfect car for somebody who wants to buy a car that will last a lot of years.
Now here's my big trick of the day. Best tip and trick ever, besides the first tip and trick at the beginning of the video, and that's to go check all the details and read through all the details, because maybe the lowest equipped model is the right one for you. Then go one model up and go through it, and maybe that's the right one for you. But if it's almost the right one for you and you're feeling, hey, it's missing one or two things, well, go build that one. So here, XLT, if we went through all the details, we would have said, hey, that's almost right, but it's missing heated seats. Well, at any time, when you read something like here, XLT 300 equipment group, that's included in standard, but you want to know what's in it, hit the little eye here to the side by Marie's head. It'll turn blue, you'll hit it, and if you've zoomed in, you'll then get absolutely nothing. But a lot of you probably don't have touchscreen laptops. Maybe all of you do. Maybe I think I'm high tech and I'm actually, 5 years behind.
Still trying.
But you click the little eye and then you can zoom in if you've got, if you're showing it on a TV, for example, or you've got bad eyes. But that's where you'll see that, well, standard, you've got 17-inch painted aluminum wheels. So we like the XLT because we're fancy wheel people. You've got the painted gray grille bar, navy pierre, and medium slate interior with orange accents. You've got your power glass exterior, side view mirrors, so you get to electronically adjust those outside side mirrors. You've got the power locking tailgate, which was big for us. We definitely wanted that. We definitely wanted the security code, keyless entry.
Yeah, that's a nice feature that I love.
And we wanted the extra tie downs in the bed. We wanted to be working this truck. We planned on doing renovations with this truck, but we got stuck with a Lightning. So instead of trading the Lightning in for the Bronco, we were too upside down, too much negative equity on the Lightning. So we had to keep the Lightning because we don't want to lose 30-some thousand. So we went ahead and had to sell the Maverick, which I think we overall kind of, well, when you consider payments, we prefer the Maverick over the Lightning when we consider payments.
Yeah, for the payments,
they're
definitely.
the same price. Yeah, okay.
The Lightning is way too expensive.
Yeah, we should have, now that they've lowered the price on the Lightning, it's very well, very much a good value. But if we were to do it all over with today's price, I'd be very convinced, and I find it a great deal to buy an XLT Lightning standard range battery and have another vehicle as a long range.
But
now,
we have fun with the fully electric truck.
Oh, we do. I'd take a standard battery XLT. I wouldn't go all out on a Lariat at 110 Canadian and then have Ford drop the price 10 grand on me and not give me anything. And I'm still waiting.
I don't love
That's
that.
the price of the mortgage. I'm still waiting for my heated steering wheel, and I still am stuck with Blue Cruise 1.0. So for someone who spent 110 grand, didn't get that rebate, I paid the extra add-on from 22 to 23. I really don't like it when manufacturers play around with pricing because it messes around with the trade-in values.
You said we wanted my Maverick to do Renaults, but now we're stuck with the Lightning. My Maverick was perfect for Renaults because I have a full bed cover and yours didn't have one. So you're like, hey, don't scratch my bed. So it's not a renovation truck.
No, it's not. I cheaped out and didn't even put a bed liner in it. I just put a bed mat.
You need to be careful.
So bed mat, like you'll see for the Maverick, a bed mat is a nice rubberized flooring. It looks good. It says F-150 if it's an F-150. It looks really cool, but your sides will still get scratched up. But if I were to buy a hybrid Maverick right now, guess what? I would not only add luxury package, I'd want black appearance package.
Yeah, I know you love that kind of package.
Black appearance package right there. You've got, let's zoom in on this. It looks amazing.
I think you cannot zoom when it's on a small window.
All right. So
Sorry.
You've got your black grille in the front. You've got black lights. You've got black mags. And you've got a black interior. The thing looks so sporty, so sharp. Very much worth the $1,645. And it's great. You click on the little E and you've got the whole rundown of everything that it offers. You even get black Ford logos, black mirrors.
It's really just aesthetical.
You got body colored mirrors. You've got the interior accents being black, the headlamps and tail lamps being black. It's fully aesthetic, but it's not available with the obviously you can't get a Tremor off-road package or an FX4 off-road package. And the only really, if I wasn't getting a hybrid black appearance package, I'd go with a Tremor Maverick. Tremor is unbelievably good looking, and you'd have all-wheel drive. So it depends if I actually want to do some off-roading with the vehicle or not. Now you've got the Copilot 360 package. Remember, because we've gone through the details, we know they all come with the 360 package. So don't be fooled. Don't just click on that because you're like, oh, I need some safety. The vehicle doesn't have any. No, the vehicle comes equipped with a great safety system.
But if you click on it, will they charge for that?
Well, it's because it's for $650. It's giving us this extra.
Few stuff
So
more.
you're getting lane keeping aid, lane keeping alert, driver alert system.
Okay.
And you're getting Bliss with cross traffic alert.
Oh,
But
that's good for the price. $650.
it's good, but you need to go back to that original order guide and look under the XL standard equipment and make sure that the standard isn't, good. If it make sure that it's not good enough before spending extra money, because maybe it is good enough. So available on XL and XLT. So you have to go back and really make sure what the vehicle's coming standard with, and the order guide is never wrong. The website can be wrong. So I always think that you need to shop these vehicles, you need to build them online, but you need to have an open window, let's say like here, and you just pop open and you go, okay, hold on, what's the real deal here? Kind of seems like it's repeating itself. So you go to XL series here, you've got your equipment group. We'll go down to Ford Copilot 360, and we do see it's optional on the XL if you want the blind spot information system with cross traffic alert and lane keeping system. But if you go back to the top at the beginning of each, whether you're at the start of XL, XLT, or Lariat, it'll always say standard equipment. So you can go back to top title here. You see Super Crew XL standard equipment. And then you just head on down, you go to their safety and security in this case, but you find it and you see, oh, well, it has anti-theft engine immobilizer, standard, all models. You've got, of course, you go through the airbags, but you can go down and you can see it's got Ford Copilot 360 technology. And you're like, oh, what's going on? Or is this a ripoff? Are they trying to steal $650 from me? No, it's because the base, this is just bad. Whoever names stuff over at Ford maybe needs, I don't know what's going on with them. I think they think that people can easily differentiate between things that are essentially called the same thing, like Blue Cruise 1.0, Blue Cruise 1.2. Well, what the heck is Blue Cruise? Blue Cruise. What the what? The title names are supposed to help understand what the thing is. Go back to Aristotle. Aristotle had a good idea of how to name things. Names are supposed to help be somewhat descriptive, to give you little hints. These aren't hints. Blue Cruise is like, you could have called it bullcrap, and oh, it's got the bullcrap 1.0. Great. Oh, hit this button and bullcrap goes and bullcrap happens.
But it's just because every fabricant wants their proper name to stuff like that.
Yes, but if all the good names are taken, use someone else's good name. Don't go with a crap name because all the good names are taken. But anyways,
Blue Cruise, blue, is it for the logo Ford? So it says the Cruise of Ford. Oh,
It's as silly as calling it Ford Cruise. Don't expect the people to naturally hear
but it's
Ford
not that
Cruise and know what it
cuter,
is.
Ford Cruise. I love the name Blue Cruise.
Okay, well, at least you love it because it makes me red in the face and makes me want to fire people. Whew. If I was the head at Ford, there'd be a lot of, you're fired. You're fired. Get out. But there'd also be a lot of, you get a big raise. You deserve it. So the person who's doing the colors deserves the biggest raise ever. The biggest raise at Ford right now should be going to the person making these colors up. And we can maybe replace the person naming things. And who knows, maybe I'm wrong and maybe I'm just an opinionated jerk. And that's okay too, because we need to accept who we are as people, even if we are opinionated jerks. You got to love yourself. So you got the XL standard Copilot. So this is why I got on this rant. They call it Copilot when you're paying more for it, and they're calling Copilot 360 when you're also not paying anything for it. Well, how about Copilot 360 is your standard? Maybe you've got a Copilot 720. At least the numbers let you know that there's more in it. It still doesn't describe what the hell it is.
360 is the degree.
Copilot 360, you could have called it Karen 360, and at least you'd know, oh, well, the Karen edition is when it's going to bark orders at you. That's how you got your Karen 360. But then you could have maybe a Susan 180 and a Susan 180. Well, Susan's sweet, she only gives you, it's just the little markers lighting up, but she doesn't chew you out. She doesn't ask to speak to the manager. She doesn't go full Karen, Super Saiyan Karen on you. She just goes Sweet Susan. So Sweet Susan is just little lights and nice little calm tonalities. But anyways, Copilot 360 named the same all over the place here, but the base one that's free is auto LED high beams, pre-collision assist with automatic emergency braking, pedestrian detection, Ford collision warning, dynamic brake support, so it will brake last minute up to 38 kilometers an hour for you, and rear view camera. So the other Copilot 360 with the exact same name costing $650 US, it's because it's giving you more but with the same name.
Will you do
Someone
another
needs to get fired.
rant because it says pedestrian detection, not bike detection?
No, because well, and it is annoying. It is annoying that they call it pedestrian detection because it also will detect cars. So it's using words that are meant to provide definitions that cover what it actually does, but it's not covering the extent, because you're right, it does cover bicycles and it covers trash cans.
And you would love that they cover more bicycle because it's annoying you.
So again, someone needs to be maybe fired because how do you have someone calling this pedestrian detection when in reality it's obstacle detection? And then if you call it obstacle detection, you can also have a system that avoids these obstacles. You could have it could be called the obstacle avoidance package. Now, I don't work at naming things at Ford, and we're on live. If you're watching this as a mini episode on the side, great, but the lives are a little more interesting, a little more lively with the help of our community. Very helpful community, love them. But to get back on topic, just to say, I'm doing this live. This is just off the top of my head, and I think I've already come up with a better name for the technology packages than what they probably pay someone, hundreds of thousands of dollars per year to work up on names. So if you're that person, I'm sure you're not watching this, but if you are, I'm sorry, but we can just Google words. When you don't have a good word for something, but you're close, just throw it in Google and ask for similar words, and it'll give you similar words that are better.
It's due for vacation. Sorry, guys.
Obstacle detection and obstacle avoidance packages could definitely work. Now, I sometimes get things horribly wrong because in the manner of writing quickly today, I was writing about my self-driving system on the Lightning, and technically it's not self-driving. They're not allowed to call it self-driving, and I used the wrong word. And it's actually kind of poor at self-driving because it's not perfect, even though the Ford's Blue Cruise is award-winning. It does, on the highway and on roads that it's programmed to run on, it's the best system. Tesla does more, but less well. So Tesla can actually, the new Teslas that are high up enough, and if you're willing to pay enough money for this added technology, well, you just punch in your destination. It'll take you from door to door. but it'll have a probably more random braking than the Blue Cruise system, and that's why Blue Cruise system works. Award-winning for being the best. Can't call it self-driving system, but driving assistance system. And now we're just about done, because no matter how you build your Ford Maverick, it's all about knowing how to use the tool. And how you use the tool here is at any time you can click on the calculator at the top and pow, you get your price. Don't get fooled. Easy to get fooled because wow, that's a great price. The US system always throws down a cash. So let's zoom in on that. US system is always going to throw on a cash, roughly 10% of the price of the vehicle. And they're not going to have the taxes in there. If you're on the Canadian system, you also need to click on the taxes. If you're on the American system, maybe you want to get rid of the cash. Mind you, having cash these days in a Maverick is a good idea because, well, what does interest look like on a Maverick, Marie?
Can find it quickly.
In Canada, it's 7.99%, and that's a whole lot of interest. And that's
a
actually,
lot.
it's very competitive, sadly, because
Competitive. I was crying with my 4.9% on March.
you got a special interest rate because when you reordered your September 2022, your switched 22 order turned and got converted into a 23, and because that was a confirmed order, meaning we sent to Ford a picture of your driver's license, a signed purchase offer signed by you and us. We sent a build order, a build sheet signed by you and us. We also had you sign a few other sheets saying, for example, that you understand that we can't promise you a specific price on your trade-in. We can't promise you a specific delivery date. So you signed sheets to say that even if the dealership were scumbags and tried to screw me and tried to lie to me, now I'm going to read the truth. So Ford works hard to make sure that their clients actually get the real deal, that they get the truth. And in order to get a Maverick even built, maybe now that there's more production capability, dealers will get some inventory. And, orders that aren't confirmed will actually start showing up. But previously, if you didn't have a confirmed order Maverick, you weren't getting a Maverick. It just was not getting built. Ford really wanted to force dealers to get these sheets signed. And if as a customer you ask to have copies of all these sheets, well, then you've got your interest rate protected. You've got your price protected. And that's why you saved thousands of dollars in interest had you paid it the whole period of time. And you saved thousands of dollars on the price of the vehicle because your order was confirmed and you had copies signed by the dealer. That's how you avoid getting screwed by the dealer. But Ford works hard to make sure that, dealers, unfortunately, because of laws, they can sell higher, they can sell lower. It's their business. They can do what they want. But Ford has been giving less vehicles, significantly less vehicles to dealers. Well, no Mavericks if they weren't getting confirmed. But the problem is you need to have those copies with you, on you, and you need to watch this show to know what to say and what to do. So hit the like button, hit the bell notification, subscribe, don't miss out. We will save you thousands of dollars. So I would definitely take either a Tremor all-wheel drive. It's the bomb. It won't blow up on you. It's the bomb in the sense that it's really cool. Or a hybrid luxury package with black appearance package as well. And you'd end up with about $376 with just the black appearance, but I think the black appearance probably forced me right automatically to take luxury package. Let's check that out. I didn't get any of them. Looked at the information, didn't click them, but if you take black appearance, it's going to throw on the XLT. It tells you need to take the XLT luxury package, so it warns you. This is a great system. Jeep system is darn dirty. Jeep Wrangler, they'll show you shiny things, pretty things, and say, oh, would you like this shiny thing? Would you like this pretty thing? And they go, oh, it's $4 per week. Oh, it's $10 per week. And you end up building a $20,000 vehicle. You end up spending $20,000 more on the vehicle than if they're just straightforward and honest. And we're like, hey, what you just clicked on, what you're considering ordering, that's that's going to cost you $4,000. So if we build my ideal hybrid, you'd probably take it without the black appearance, or are you with me on this?
I will take it the same as the last time without it.
Okay.
XLT, Lux, that's all.
Okay, we can continue to live together. I can accept a difference in opinion. I'm a big boy.
I don't love to pay for just aesthetical accessories. Sometimes.
Hey, originally you wanted to order.
It depends on what.
Originally you wanted an XL Maverick.
No, never an XL. I don't love the Stilies.
Oh no, you wanted an
I'm
EcoBoost. That's right. You want an EcoBoost. That's so true. So anyways, if we were to lease this, we'd be looking at $424 per month on a 48-month lease with 10,500 miles. Always, you want to figure out how many miles you do per year. If your previous vehicle is 4 years old, you've had it for 4 years, you've got 40,000 miles. Well, guess what? You do 10,000 miles. So look at the number of years that you've had it, divide that by your total mileage. If you bought it with mileage, well, the difference in mileage from where it is now from when you bought it, and that's how much miles you've been doing, and you can probably continue to plan on doing the same type of mileage. And I would lease. I would absolutely lease all day long, because at the end of these leases, if the vehicle's worth more than your residual or your buy it back amount, you hand the keys back and you wash your hands and you're fine. You might have to pay, let's say it's worth $6,000 less, but you're returning it with finished tires and a cracked windshield. Well, if you're on purchase and you're trading in your vehicle, guess what? You're getting less for your trade-in because of those scratches or your finished tires or your finished windshield. So you'd be paying for it anyways by getting less for your trade. But even if you have to write a check for $1,000, if it saves you $6,000 or $8,000 because your vehicle has depreciated far more than the payments you put in, well, you're protected. And if you're on purchase though, however, if it's worth more, you can cash in on that, because you can sell your own lease or trade in your own lease and look to make money. So you need to shop your trade-in. Shop your trade-in, folks. Make sure you get a fair amount for your trade-in. And remember, trade value needs to be less, and it only makes sense that trade value is less than advertised for sale value. And don't necessarily just look at the most expensive one online and say, okay, I should get a few $1,000s less than the most expensive one available. No, the ones that sell online are the least expensive ones. Now, Ford Video Guy, he's a Maverick Tremor fan, like myself. And because I like to do, if the Ford Maverick was my only vehicle, I would absolutely want it to be an all-wheel drive Tremor, because I would take it off-roading a little. I'd take it into the woods to cut some wood. I'd take it into the woods to cut some wood, to even just have that as an excuse to have the day off and actually get to throw some mud all over the place. I want to take it in a farmer's field and do donuts when I have permission. At the end of season, helping them till the land by doing those donuts. So that's how I would do it. And at any time, if you're not sure about what you've built, you can just go back, change around your equipment. So yeah, Tremor would be my other main build. If it was my only vehicle, I would definitely get a Tremor.